What's up, people? It's Nature Girl 30 here, and I haven't done these in a while. So when you actually see something that says Smackdown review on the top of this page, you know it means something. I gotta be honest, I can't hate on this Smackdown. I really like this Smackdown. This Smackdown was done right. It was done right. It was done much better than Raw, because Raw seem to have all of their segments in the wrong order, in my opinion. And the thing that was supposed to hype you up came last, while what was supposed to hype you up on SmackDown came in the middle. And I'm talking about the whole feud between CM Punk and The Rock. And even though CM Punk was not there live, the thing about it is they actually had the segment at the right moment in time. You want to have it in the middle of the show, especially the fact that it's a 2-hour show. Well, I think, yeah, especially the fact that it's a 2-hour show, it's best to have it in the middle. And I think that's probably the reason why it's a lot better than Raw, because Raw has 3 hours, so they have to find a way to actually fill everything in and have that as a finale, but even though it was actually set up wrong, in my opinion. But regardless of that, it was done right. Even though we had other matches and everything involved, the matches weren't all that bad. They never are. And the best segment, in my opinion, was a segment was the CM Punk via satellite segment when he was actually at University of Miami Stadium. And I think that was like the best setup towards The Rock's retort. And it was great to have The Rock return at his hometown of Miami. It's pretty much his hometown because of the fact that he actually went to school there. It's pretty much his alma mater, his welcome home. And it was a really great welcome home for him. I love the segment that he had with Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. I love that segment. I actually thought it was quite funny. And I was actually wondering in the back of my mind, how long did it take for him to remember his last question? I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I honestly thought that was a really quite clever question that he actually did ask Damien Sandow, and I enjoyed that segment a lot. But the biggest moment, and I know a lot of people are going to talk about this, is the final moment of the night, the final match of the night, the main event between Alberto Del Rio and The Big Show. I really didn't expect much until the beginning. Now, for those that actually go back and watch it, you know that's understandable. And I would have done this last night, but I fell asleep. Either or, the thing about it is, when you hear the announcers announce each person separately, you know that match is serious, because that's what they do in the pay-per-views. That's how it's kind of giving somewhat of a foreshadowing to where it could possibly change hands, or there's going to be something epic that's going to happen, or something big that's going to happen. And I'm not going to lie, that last man standing match was anything but awesome, in my opinion. It was a good match. You cannot hate a David versus Goliath style match. I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that can hate a David versus Goliath style match, because everyone's going to root for the little guy. Everyone wants the little guy to win. That's probably the reason why they chose Alberto Del Rio, or maybe it's the fact because it's in Miami. And Miami has a really huge Latino fan base, as well as a huge Latino population. So I wouldn't be surprised they actually did pick Alberto Del Rio to be the representative in this match, because let's face it, Sin Cara has not really worked. But either or, this was a really good match. It really did kind of show you exactly the skills that Alberto Del Rio has as a luchador, as well as the power and the dynamic, the stamina, the endurance, the power that is the Big Show. It showed you everything that the Big Show gave him. He still stood up and kept going. It represented what a David versus Goliath style match is, and I loved every bit of it. The biggest shocker of the moment for me was the fact that when Alberto Del Rio won the World Heavyweight title 2 weeks before the Royal Rumble to shake things up. I can't hate on that. Sure, it is on free TV. I can't hate on that, though, because they had to pick it up. They had to literally shake things up and give people something to talk about. And that is definitely something to talk about, because the Big Show lost his belt before the Rumble. Before the Rumble. Which is something that no one could ever imagine happen. Which means that either they're going to have a rematch at the Royal Rumble, or the fact is that maybe they're going to have a number 1 contender match. I don't know. Or the thing about it is, more than likely, he's going to probably cash in his rematch clause at the Rumble against Alberto Del Rio again. But it would really suck and make the belt less meaningful if they decide to have Alberto Del Rio lose to the Big Show at the Rumble. It would be a travesty if they do that. The reason why is because it's not so much of the fact that, oh, the Big Show needs to be a buried champion. It's just the fact that it will make the belt look weak. You don't want to be able to pass hands like from one pay-per-view to another. You want to at least have some sort of a meaning behind it. Because everybody has wanted that belt off the Big Show. The Big Show did a good job bringing in some heel heat to himself and making people hate him. That is the whole purpose of a heel. He has done that job well. And now Alberto Del Rio has it. He has to fight to keep it. And if they want to keep him as a face, they have to keep him as a face and keep him a champion for at least up until WrestleMania. Up until that point. I'm thinking that maybe up until WrestleMania would probably be the best choice for them to go, the best route for them to go if they want to make him a face. Because you want to have your face, you want to have somebody you want to believe in. And the fact that he actually beat as a giant like the Big Show, you want to have somebody that you can believe in, that he can actually hold that belt against all odds. So the best thing for them to do is to have him keep it towards WrestleMania. But all in all, I have to say that this SmackDown, I really enjoyed it. I was really happy for it. Even if they did have, for some reason, I don't know why Dolph Ziggler and AJ were on there from the beginning, but I have to admit, it did kind of bring out the more crazier side of AJ when she took a book from Mike Tyson and freaking bit Natalya in the knee and the ear. I don't know what idea that came from that, but either or, SmackDown was not all that bad. The closer was awesome, in my opinion. The segment between The Rock and Damian Sandow, Cody Rhodes, was anything but great, and it did put a lot of heat, a lot of fuel into the feud between him and CM Punk. And CM Punk's segment was actually great because it actually added more fuel for their feud for the Royal Rumble, because that happens to be the main event, and you need to beef that up. So I think they did everything right, and Raw definitely needs to take notes from SmackDown, because honestly, I think they did it right. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Leave your comments in the comment section below how you feel SmackDown should have been, or how it was in your opinion, or send me a video response. I am all up for that, to hear what you guys have to say about it. But anyway, this is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.